Hello and welcome to Harlequin Books and Cooks. I'm your host Camille Archese, and this is the show where we get to know the authors behind some of your favorite romance novels while whipping up deliciousness in the kitchen. Joining me today is JC Lee, and we're making the best lobster rolls with spicy yuzu dressing. You definitely want to stick around. Her romance novels will make you laugh, warm your heart, and curl your toes all at the same time. Please join me in welcoming to the show JC Lee. Hi, JC.
Hi, Camille. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Amazing. I'm so excited to have you. So here's the thing. Before I get started, anytime I'm working with one of the authors, I always like to know, what is your level of kitchen savviness that you have?
Well, I cook every day, almost 3 meals every day. So I am comfortable around the kitchen, but I have to admit that it'll be my first time handling lobster.
That's perfect. I love when I get to introduce people to something new, and this is probably one of my favorite recipes to use with lobsters.
Me too. I love lobster rolls, so I'm excited for lunch.
All right, so on the menu today, we're making my lobster rolls with a spicy yuzu dressing. The inspiration for this dish came from the scene in A Song of Secrets where Josh and Angie are having lunch and she orders lobster rolls. Now, they're one of my favorite sandwiches, but honestly, I always find them like a little lackluster. Like, it's usually just lobster and mayo and a little ho-hum. So I wanted to jazz them up with a little inspiration from one of my favorite restaurant dishes. So that's what's on the menu today. Do you have everything you need?
I do, but I just wanted to mention the yuzu juice was kind of hard to find. Is there a way to substitute that with any other citrus?
That's a great question. It's available in Asian grocers, and you can definitely find it online. In a pinch, you could do a combination of like lemon and lime, and maybe add a little bit of lime zest as well, because yuzu has a little bit of a bitter note, so you want to try to introduce that. But otherwise, it's one of those ingredients that I say, when you see it, buy it and keep it in the fridge, because once you get to know its flavor, you're going to want to throw it into everything.
It smells so good. I was just smelling it.
Well, the first thing we want to do for these lobster rolls is get our lobster cooked, because we want to get them nice and cooked and then let them cool down to room temperature. So JC, let's just add our salt to the water. We need a nice tablespoon or so. You don't have to be precise about it. All right, and then let's add our lobster tails to the pot. Carefully put them in. You'll notice pretty quickly that the shells go from like this kind of beige black color to a little bit more red. That's how you know that they're cooking already. We're going to leave the lobster tails alone for about 6 to 8 minutes. They're going to cook through. And the nice thing is that they tell us when they're done. The shells are going to turn bright red and they're going to start to curl a little bit. And when that happens, we're just going to remove them, put them on a plate, and let them cool down to room temperature before we chop them up.
Okay.
Okay, so the second most important part of any lobster roll is the bun. Am I right?
Yes, definitely. The grilled, crispy.
It's all about having that nice buttery toasted outside with like the soft chewy inside to go with the tender lobster meat. It's like the perfect combination.
It is.
I'm going to show you the signature way that you get that nice crunchy side and get that butter on the outside of the bun. So this is what you need to do. You take your bun, you get a nice sharp serrated knife, and all you're going to do is cut a little bit off of the outside. Just a very thin trimming, because you're just creating a side that we can spread butter onto. You got that?
I think so.
So JC, I read that you live in sunny California.
I do.
And have you always lived there?
Ever since our family immigrated to the US when I was 9. So we've been living, and I've been living in the South Bay area of Southern California since I was 9.
Oh, wow. And do you think that you would ever move to another part of the US maybe?
I can't leave this weather. I went to UC Berkeley, which is just Northern Cal. It's still California, but I'm like, it's too cold up here. I can't do this. So I moved right back to Southern California after I finished college.
Oh, that's awesome. And I also read, JC, that you are a litigator as well, or you used to be.
I used to be a defense litigator for 15 years.
Wow.
And I worked for companies and did employment defense work. Very different from being a romance author.
Right. And how did you make that transition? What inspired it?
I'm going to say a burnout. I took a leave. I took a leave from my work at the law firm, and I thought, when am I ever going to have time to sit down and write a novel? It's been my dream since I was 14 to be a romance author, and I thought, I've been practicing law for 15 years, and I just kind of lost my way. So why don't I take this chance to write my novel? So I sat down and wrote my first romance novel in 2 months.
In 2 nights?
2 months.
Oh, 2 months. I was like, oh my God. 2 months is still very, very fast.
It is. It just kind of poured out of me.
I'm just going to interrupt, and we're just going to get a little bit of the slit on the top of our buns. I started buttering a few, but I want to do the little slit on the top of the bun, and that's where we're going to put the lobster meat inside. So what you want to do is take the tip of your serrated knife, or maybe even use a paring knife if you want to be even more delicate, and we're going to do a little incision. We're going to get very surgical. We're going to do a little incision on the top. Not all the way through, because you want to create a little pocket to put the lobster in. Next thing, let's get the butter on the outsides. So you just want to put the butter on the cut side of your buns.
Okay.
And don't be shy. You know, this is the part where it's got to get nice and crusty. So if you don't use enough butter, it's just not going to work. And this is a dish where we're not trying to make it light. We're going for it. It's lobster time. So JC, I really loved the little sneak peek I got into A Song of Secrets.
Really?
Yeah, I really loved it. It's a story about love and family connection, and I fell in love with the characters. I thought that Joshua was such a grounded hero, you know?
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, it was the way you described even his home. When Angie went to his house and she saw that it reflected him, it had some style to it, and I loved reading that, because that's something that, you know, is part of the interview process when you're on your first date, or, you know, considering a potential mate.
Uh-huh.
You created such grounded characters.
I'm glad. I wanted to create characters who were relatable. I mean, he's basically like a billionaire CEO and a genius composer, but he's also him.
He's also him, yes. JC, I'm just going to interrupt you for 1 sec. Let's take your lobster tails out of the water now, because we don't want them to overcook.
Okay.
And just put them on a plate. We're going to let them cool down until we can handle them. We're just waiting for my pan to get nice and heated. We're going to toast our buns. I want to go back to talking about the characters in A Song of Secrets, because one thing that I really loved was the relationship between Angie and her sisters. Loved seeing how close they were and how supportive they were. And I was wondering, do you have sisters yourself? Like, what was the inspiration for that nice family bond?
I have a brother, an older brother that I'm very close to, and in every book I write, I can't help but put a sibling relationship in there. Close-knit, strong relationships in there, because that's what I grew up with. And he's been like such a great anchor and support for me throughout my life. I wanted to incorporate that into my books so my readers could get a feel of that warmth and that like solid ground.
And I loved how you used like the traditional words, the traditional Korean words for the different family members. I loved that. I love any time a book kind of like puts you into another culture.
Thank you. That's very important to me. I don't see enough representation for Korean Americans out there. And Harlequin Desire has been amazing in diversifying their books. And I'm so happy to be a part of that movement.
It's wonderful. It's really, really great. How's your pan doing? Is yours hot enough?
Let's see. It feels hot.
Okay, my pan's nice and hot. Are you ready to toast these buns?
I am. Let's toast some buns.
Let's toast our buns. You want to hear a nice sizzle as soon as they hit the pan. That's how you know the temperature's right.
Oh, it's sizzling.
It's sizzling nicely. You can smell the butter.
Yes, you can't have too much bacon, lobster, and butter.
Exactly. Just transfer the buns that you've cooked to a plate. We'll let them hang out like I did. And we're going to start working with our lobster next.
Okay.
Before we get our lobster going, actually, let's make the sauce, shall we?
Okay, I can't wait to taste this.
It's 3 ingredients. It's really simple. And to me, it is so much better than the regular plain lobster roll. So in your mixing bowl, let's get 3 tablespoons roughly of Kewpie mayonnaise. Have you used Kewpie before?
Yes, I love Kewpie mayonnaise. It's just creamier, tangier.
So much better. It's like a secret ingredient when I'm making anything, really. And especially that we're making a sauce that has, liquids in it. It's much, much, much better to start with something thicker than the regular jarred mayo.
Oh, okay.
So in the bowl that we have the Kewpie, let's add our chili garlic sauce. That's going to add some beautiful color, some amazing spicy flavor, and we're just taking this lobster roll to another level.
I love the Asian influence in this.
I had to give a little nod to the characters. Let's also add the yuzu juice. And then the hardest part, stir. Get it all nice and combined. And then from here, I want you to give it a little taste and see if you want to adjust and add a little more spice, a little more Kewpie. I definitely don't think you'll need more yuzu because a little goes a long way.
I could taste the yuzu. It's beautiful. This is such a gorgeous sauce. I think I'm going to add a little bit of salt.
Yes, add a little bit of salt as well. Yeah, salt is something you're going to add to taste. And then just set this bowl to the side. We're going to chop our lobster tails up now.
Okay.
So for this, you're going to need a nice, sharp, heavy knife. I'm using a chef's knife. You could totally use a cleaver. Okay, next step is let's get our lobster meat out of the tail. You ready?
Yeah, I am. I'm a little scared, but I'm ready.
Don't be scared. So we'll work one by one. Just put one of the lobster tails on your board.
Okay.
Okay. And maybe let's work with, it's better to have the shell side, like the curved part up.
Uh-huh.
And you're going to hold it carefully with your non-dominant hand. So I'm right-handed. I'm holding the lobster tails with my left.
Okay, same for me.
Yep. And then you want to use the pointy part of your knife to make a nice little incision at the bottom of the tail. And then kind of curve your knife down. Use the top of your left hand to push through the shell and break it. Do you got that?
Got it.
Cut all the way through. And then cut all the way through on both sides. We'll just do all the lobster tails, or we'll do a few of the lobster tails at a time.
Okay.
This way it's really easy to get the meat out. We have a lot of nice sounds happening in the kitchen, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
The sizzling of the butter, the cracking of the shells. Oh man, you're good with your knife, I can hear it. Now that we have the lobster shells nice and halved, just use your fingers and carefully pull the cooked meat out. There's no rhyme or reason to it, just start pulling. And if you get any smaller bits, that's totally fine as well, because those all go into the sandwich.
Okay.
In A Song of Secrets, JC, were there any like specific inspirations for the characters that you wrote about? Was there anybody that you related to a little bit more than another?
You know, when I write these books, it's never just one person that inspires the characters. So the idea for the trio, they're called the Hana Trio. The three sisters make up the string trio. And there is a Korean trio made up of three sisters. So I got the inspiration from there to make them part of a trio. And my favorite cousin, who is more like a sister to me than a cousin, she's a professional flautist. And I researched through her a lot, asked her about just how a musician's schedule is like, what their contract obligations are like, the nitty-gritty that you really don't know about. So she helped me kind of flesh out the characters for sure.
And you had some nice family drama in this story as well.
Yes, and that comes from my root of growing up on K-drama. We need to have that.
Are you ready to chop?
Yes, I am chopping away.
Perfect, yeah. Nice chunks. I like a mixture of some big pieces, some small pieces. That way it feels like a little bit of a treat when you get a nice big one.
Ah, okay. I was making them pretty big because I like big chunks of lobster.
In your kitchen, you do it your way. So because we're not going to toss all of the lobster right now for camera, we're just going to do some in a smaller bowl. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the sauce and I'm going to put like 2 big spoonsful, maybe 3, into that bowl. And then I'm going to add the lobster meat to that and give it a nice stir so that everything is nicely coated.
Okay.
This is like a great thing to make if you're having a party or just as a treat for your family at home, actually, because this is something you may not want to share.
I tasted the sauce. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to even share it with my husband.
Exactly. There are certain things that you just know. There's certain things I make when my husband isn't home. Don't tell him I said that. Okay, so now let's assemble, shall we? Grab your favorite toasted bun.
Okay. I have a favorite. How did you know?
Because everybody has a favorite. You have to know. And then put a little piece of lettuce inside, a nice leafy lettuce. We want a little pop of green to balance out all the richness of the lobster.
Okay.
Tuck it in there. Don't be shy.
I'm going to cut it a little smaller.
Yeah, you definitely want to avoid the rib part of it. All right. Want to load it up nicely with the lobster.
I think I put too much, but like we said, there's no too much lobster.
And when you're ready, let me know and we're going to taste together. And it's so much better having this little bit of red color compared to the traditional lobster roll, I think. I'm going to put a little bit of chives on mine. If you like, you can do that too, but really you don't need to garnish with anything. I'm just doing it for the camera, you know.
I'll garnish. Pretty is pretty.
All right, JC, are you ready to taste?
I am. Mine's like tipping over.
That's okay. All right, do you think we can do this in a cute way for camera? I don't know.
Cute way. No, you got to open wide and take a huge bite so we can't even talk afterwards.
I like your style. Let's go. What do you think?
That is so good. Sorry, my mouth is full.
And who knew that lobster rolls were so easy to make, right?
It's amazing how simple it was.
Amazingly simple, great ingredients, and the right little flavor add-ons. with the chili garlic sauce and the yuzu juice. It's just, oh my gosh, I just want to be alone with like a platter of this by myself.
That's what I'm planning to do right after we finish this shoot.
So one of your books, a platter of these lobster rolls is a perfect day.
Yes, it is a perfect day.
So JC, tell us what you're working on right now and what you have coming up. We'd love to know.
So I am working on the second book to A Song of Secrets. It's going to be about the second sister, Megan, who is the violinist in the Hana Trio. And let me just tell you that it's going to be trope-tastic. So be on the lookout for it.
Trope-tastic. What are your favorite tropes?
Well, some of my favorite tropes writing has been marriage of convenience, best friend's older brother, enemies to lovers, secret identity. A Song of Secrets, as you have read, is all about the secret identity, and second chance romance. And for my second book, there's going to be a one night stand and a surprise trope, which I can't say because it's a surprise trope. But so many tropes are just butter, so it makes everything better.
Absolutely. Well, can't wait to read those.
Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy them.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining me in the kitchen, JC. It has been such a pleasure expanding on the lobster roll with you. I hope you make this again and again.
I think I will. Thank you so much. I think I should throw a party.
A party for one?
Maybe two.
Okay, fair enough. Thanks again, JC.
Thank you.